Hey everyone, so we're going to go over Solana today and discuss whether you should be buying at these levels or waiting for better price opportunities as we have surged over 200% in just 2.5 weeks. I'm going to mark out the key levels above us and below us so you know exactly where you should be buying and selling and where you're likely to get reactions in the market. And without further ado, let's mark out those bullish and bearish scenarios so you know exactly what to do at this point. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and please smash the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more videos next week, and without further ado, let's crack on. Now, I do want to talk about some of the more bearish scenarios first for Solana because until proven otherwise, that is still the broad trend of the entire market and for sure the trend of Solana. So let's take a look at that because we've so far have been making lower highs all year and we don't know if we're still going to deviate and make one more lower high before we basically roll over into some lower order blocks and take out some of these lower prices, okay? There's nothing there at the minute on the big macro time frame to suggest otherwise, okay? Because until the trend actually changes, you can't just guess and speculate just because you've seen a massive move or some massive green candles for Solana. And from a chart perspective, what Solana technically should do is it should have some sort of at least pause or rejection at these levels because we've got this clear level of horizontal support resistance over here, which we're probably going to try to attack into next week. But what Solana should do is it should come here and on the longer time frame, typically these big order blocks do tend to get tested, which are the red candles, okay, before the up move that breaks the structure of the market, which is again this cluster of price action, and that's where the liquidity is, okay, from a historical point of view. So I wouldn't be surprised for Solana to actually see some price rejections here. And you can see that we're currently testing this key order block here between about $26 and $48, which is the range that we broke down from earlier in the summer. And similar to Ethereum, what I'd be looking out for here is when we reach these key order blocks, again, this is an order block within an order block. So this is the first real price that Solana is likely to test. And if you see something like any ascending structures that start to look weak, divergences on the RSI, and you start to get something like this, and maybe even some sort of swing failure pattern close back into this ascending channel, okay, and then a move down, okay, then expect Solana to go and have a sharp pullback to about $15 because again, we've moved about 200% off the lows in 2.5 weeks, which is a massive surge even for altcoins like Solana. So do expect, if you get volatility to the upside, you're going to expect volatility back down to the downside. So until proven otherwise, Solana is still creating some form of lower highs, okay, on the chart, and is going to still potentially roll over to hit some of these lower targets. And if we take a look at this blue line, which is the 21 exponential moving average for Solana, it's really given us a nice trend and momentum indicator that the direction is still to the downside, and we haven't had any significant push above it or retest. So every time that we've come up towards this blue line, we're currently, or we have been rejected, and that's exactly where we are at the moment, the 21-week moving average. So until we actually break this 21 exponential moving average to the upside, maybe close and with an impulsive candle and hold into this range that we broke down from, okay, and then start to reclaim it as support, we have no evidence on the chart to suggest that we're going to create any higher highs, okay, and change the structure of the market. The trend would still be to the downside over the short to medium term. Now that said, this massive impulsive move that we've had in the last 2.5 weeks definitely looks like a lot more of a bottom, okay, than any of these previous bounces, because with these ones we just typically move sideways, just move correctively, and then just move back down. This time we've actually managed to basically break a key order block. Let's just have a look at this on the daily, we've actually broke down, faked out, and basically broke this level of price. Not only did we close back in this level really quickly, but we broke above it really impulsively, which tells me that this move still has some legs left in it. So if this is indeed a bottom for Solana, which it very well could be because Bitcoin is showing some local strength, okay, and has potentially put in its bottom for the cycle, then what I would like to see is a potential retest of this order block over here at about $15, gains this support from this horizontal level at some point, and then potentially move higher. So we might come up here next week in the coming weeks and maybe hang around here, maybe show some weakness and have a rejection and then pull back, or maybe we pull back before we actually test that level. But that's what I'd be looking out for Solana to give us an indication that if we get a reaction at this level, then we can potentially move up higher. And you know, typically markets move in waves of 3s and 5s, and you can see that this is still looks like one big impulsive move. So if we do get a sharp pullback, I would expect continuation of this trend and you know, continue to push higher up here. But in order for us to actually know that Solana has changed the trend and the structure of the market, is not only do we want to see the first sign, which is, like I said, closing in these levels and reclaiming this range, okay, is that we actually want to see these highs get taken out. And if we can take out a high of $39, impulsively move above it, and then potentially come back down, retest and reclaim these levels as support, okay, then I think Solana has, you know, essentially showed you that it would like to move higher, and then we can test some of the other order blocks above us as well. So if Solana does indeed manage to tap into this level and take out $39 and then start taking out some of these highs, the structure of the market is changing. And again, where is the next order block above us apart from that is going to be about $72. So if we break this level and start to form some of these patterns that I'm speaking about over here, maybe break this level of about $48, come down, hold this as support, and then puncher up into another level. The longer term level that you're looking at here is about $74. And again, you can see it's high levels of horizontal support resistance, which you need to be looking out for. I don't think that you should be buying Solana at these levels. You should be waiting for the pullback. Do not buy into a 200% FOMO. I would definitely be waiting here for Solana. And if for some reason you're looking to trade this and it does move higher and you miss it, okay, then I just consider it a trade missed. I wouldn't be chasing massive 200% green candles when you've got clear support below us that has not been tested yet. And you can see that the volume profile is also showing us exactly why we've actually surged so quickly here, at least in the last week or so, is that we don't actually have a lot of volume at these prices. So that's why we basically slice through $15 and straight up to about $25 like butter, because we haven't traded at this range for a very long time, which tells me that we're probably going to get some sort of harsh reaction here, not necessarily a buy or a sell, but you know, I expect us, that's why after a massive move like this, I'm expecting some sort of wick or volatility to basically push us back down, at least in the short to medium term for Solana. So like I said, don't be buying just yet, and I'd say that your best shot of buying in the short term for a hope of a continued uptrend is going to be at this $15 level, where there again is higher volume support here. So we know that people have been trading at these price ranges for you know, have been trading here for a longer period of time with higher volume. So that's why we expect, you know, more price support, not here, not here, not $18, not $18, not $20, right? It's going to be about $15 level is where you want to be buying in at. And also, if we just have a look at that bearish scenario again quickly, is that if we break that $7 level, okay, $8 level, then you can see that there again is a complete void in the profile on the volume. So if we do get some sort of capitulation back down to the downside, where is the volume? It's exactly in this order block, and that's where likely prices are going to be filled on Solana if we basically make some sort of final capitulation this year, which would be my worst case scenario for Solana. So if you got some value from this video and you enjoyed the analysis and it gave you a little bit more clarity with whether you should be buying and selling and the key levels to be looking out for on Solana, then go ahead and smash the video with a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.